improvements with it.
And it's a backup.
All right, I do not have my gavel, but it is 6 o'clock.
Are we supposed to be able to hear you?
What?
Are we supposed to be able to hear you with that? Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
okay.
Your teacher voice, it'll be.
I can use my teacher voice, but I don't want to use
Use
my
that
teacher
military voice.
into a microphone. So, all right, now we are convening the regular portion of the Finance Committee. So the reason I'm walking around with a microphone, and you see a bunch of them on your tables, is if there are more than 3 board members at a committee meeting, then by law, the lawyer is saying it has to be video recorded. So we have 5 board members here tonight. It was properly posted, but then we now add the video component to it also. So a lot of this work tonight is going to be at tables and groups. So when you watch the video, it's going to be a whole bunch of muffled whatever it's going to be, but as long as we have the microphones running in the room, then we're going to be in compliance with the legal requirements according to our attorney.
That you didn't take votes.
Correct. Yes.
It's really what it's for.
Correct. Yes, and because to prove that we aren't, conducting, if board business happens to get talked about and there's 5 of us in a room, we're going to make sure that that it is recorded and saved. So, thanks everybody for your patience. I have been trying to email all day. As I am getting information, I am sending out as quickly as I can as it gets released to the board. So I know a lot of people got some of it today, some of it's going to be handed out tonight. For those of you who watched the board meeting last night, let me go over just a few numbers. And these were in the email if you saw my email, and I took all of these right off a document that the superintendent gave us, and we started talking about, you guys were talking about this a little bit at the, as part of the survey, is for the fiscal year we're looking at is 26-27, right? So that's next school year. That starts July 1st. We're on a 1 July fiscal year. So, and these are all very approximate numbers that do move a little bit. I think I saw Ms. Martinez walk in, that these are all approximates. Don't hold me to even decimal places on any of these. But they are projecting revenue right now for next year to be about $236.3 million. Right now, with our current expenditures, if we do nothing, we're projected to spend about $266 million, $266.5, which means in order to get to a balanced budget at some point, a zero where revenue equals expenses, that's about a $30.1 million reduction in expenses that we need to make across Judson. I know you guys, I heard you guys talking about payroll. The benchmark in kind of education with school districts is the goal is to be about 84% of your expenses are payroll, and then about 16% are non-payroll. So contracts, toilet paper, all those types of things. So where we are with the district right now, this year we're currently spending about $225 million on payroll. That's all the people currently getting paychecks in Judson as of like last week. But to go down to 84% of that revenue number that I first listed, that means our payroll expenses would need to go down to about $198 million. So that's about a 27, if I'm doing my math, about a $27 million cut in payroll. And then on the non-payroll side, which is going to be about should be about 16% of your budget, we are currently spending about $43 million. And district put to get down to 37.8. So we'll let Mr. Bullis do the math of that if anybody asks. The other thing district put out last night is the average salary in Judson with benefits included is $66,685. So of our 3,331 current.
Could you give that one more time?
Yes.
The average.
66685.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
And anybody who got my email, all these numbers were in that email, but some of you are new to the committee, so you might not be getting my emails yet. So of our 3,331 current FTEs, employees being paid, in order to reduce the payroll, what we're saying the payroll needs to be reduced, that's approximately 500 personnel. Give or take 75, I think is what they typed in there. So, because it's different, whether you're cutting a paraprofessional who makes $27,000 or you're cutting someone who makes well over $100,000. So, but just I think they wanted to calculate that number just to give kind of the breadth of, the gravity of kind of the situation, where it's not 1, 2, or 3 people. It's going to be somewhere in the hundreds in order to get where the district needs to go. So for those who watched the meeting last night, here's the documents that each of your, we have the 11, I'm going to call them section leaders. I don't know what else to call them, right? We got District 1, District 2 through 7, elementary, middle school, high school, and districts. So that's 11 primary members. In your folder with your primary member, you are going to have a bunch of documents. So last night at the board meeting, the board was presented the 2 financial solvency CAPAs, which is a corrective and preventative action plan. And you have copies of those now in there. This did not go out via email. I literally just got this email to me within the last couple hours and had them print that for us. So that will be in those folders also. And that is where the superintendent has outlined his recommendations. One of those is the school consolidation, right? So I recommend you put a little bit of a pin on that, because there's going to be a big meeting tomorrow night. So if you are very interested in school consolidations and how many schools are consolidated or not consolidated and which ones those are, all of the data for that will be presented at tomorrow night's Growth and Planning, 6 p.m. if I'm not wrong. Is there any Growth and Planning people here? I think it's like a big workshop from 6 to 8, but double check your calendar invite or double check the thing. So, but that's in there just so you have an idea of what they're projecting the cost savings to be. So when we're starting to come down from that 30 million, you have that in there. The other one is the rest of the CAPA 1, which is oh, sorry, I'll make sure you get your folder, Dr. Nance. I don't know if we gave it to Ms. Freeman. And so this is all the other ways to cut. And these are all just proposals from the superintendent. None of this has been approved. This was kind of the first, last night was the first time the board saw this kind of as a group in its entirety. What is not included in there at the request of the superintendent, one of the first steps in that plan involves some of the positions he has already identified that he will be recommending for reduction. Many of those positions are ones. They are, if we have 1 underwater basket weaver, then it may be reducing by 1. So those conversations with those employees that may be on that list have not occurred yet. So the superintendent has requested that we not distribute that list. So the 1 underwater basket weaver doesn't know their position is on the list for potential elimination until the superintendent has had an opportunity, or the cabinet, to have that conversation. And I know that's going to make it tougher for you guys because you can't weigh in on, we shouldn't cut the underwater basket weaver if you don't know we're cutting the underwater basket weaver. But there's some other documents. Either way, that list we do have it's not 500. It's nowhere near 500 yet, right? So there are still a lot of positions to be identified in order to get to those numbers I started out with. So we'll still be looking for your input on some other areas in staffing where you think you would like to recommend up to the board and the superintendent that we start looking at some of those areas. To help you with that, there's a number of documents in your folder, and I think everybody got these on email if you had time this afternoon. So you have a staffing 2-page thing will be in your folder, which is that 3,331 current FTEs employed by Judson as of a week or so ago, and they're broken down by PEIMS category. Then you have the 2020-2021, which was when we had a similar enrollment. We were about 1,200 more here, also by those PEIMS coding. Then you have 2 documents from Moat Casey. One is their final report. These are the financial health indicators. This talks more big overarching things, so big deficit, fund balances, and it has some staffing information in there. But this is the get your bifocals on, because it's really small font. This goes PEMS category by PEMS category by PEMS category through the 5 comparable districts that they selected to compare us against, and then also what the region and state averages are. So you can go down to Underwater Basket Weavers on here, see how many Judson has, see how many NEISD has, how many Schertz Cibolo has, how much the state has, and look through all of those numbers. And there's some useful stuff in here too, and some of it, I'm gonna be honest, is not, because everybody codes and staffs their districts really differently. So there's no simple 500 that just magically appears out of these documents. They just don't. That'd be the easy button, right? We're like, oh, we can see every single category and we can figure out where all 500 are. That is not what you're gonna see in there. There's some, I think, nuances amongst districts, and some nuances of Judson too, about why our certain ratios are a certain way. So there's a lot of work to be done looking at those. Hold on, I just lost my notes. Oh, there we go. All right, so what we're hoping, if you read my email, to do tonight is, again, we have 11 team leaders, section leaders, whatever we want to call them, that are representative of the entire district. And each of them has gotten their folder with the documents that we just talked about. So when we break, I'd like you to go with your team. And if you got a team of only 2 and you want to pair up with another section 2, that might be helpful also, right? Because if you're, just District 1 and you want to grab the high school people, maybe that's helpful, right? Because some people can have some ideas about education, and Mr. Wills is going to be like, that ain't going to work. And let me tell you why. So depending on how many people are from each of the sections, we'll figure out how to best organize you guys so you can have your conversations. And then what we're hoping you can go through tonight is to go through, especially that CAPA number 1, and you guys be able to come back with kind of your little written report of what do you agree with? Yes, this is an area we should definitely look at reducing. This is a good reduction in our opinion of our little section. Something you absolutely disagree with, you're like, no, if we cut that, we're going to lose the heart of Judson. It's got benefits. Anything you think we should modify, like, hey, maybe we should not cut this, maybe we should cut it in half. Similar to kind of what we did up on the dry erase, or when we were up on the walls. And then anything you want to add, and I think there were a lot of discussions of that. I heard during the survey thing of things you think should be added on there, and things we should be looking at as other ways to reduce, because we're not at the 30. Last night we saw about 16. If all of those things got approved, which we don't know yet, especially if things start coming off, then we're getting farther and farther away from 30. Because it'd be nice for us then to take all that input, if y'all can find whatever, I don't care how you write it down, as long as I can read your writing, so that we can consolidate that and get that as a written report up to the board, in order to start getting that feedback to them, and they can start hearing from that committee. Like, I'm sure there's a bazillion questions. Any big overarching questions? Otherwise, again, we've got a number of board members, so we'll wander around and try and answer what we know, but again, we also have limited information and may not have all the answers you're looking for, but we can work on it.
1-year plan, 2-year plan, are we trying to make recommendations to both to reach because Bo Casey was talking about this should be a 4-year process, but we blew 2 years already.
Correct.
They were recommending a 2-year. There was a lot of
No, they did not
30.
recommend a 2-year, because a 2-year plan based on last night would bring the fund balance for Judson below 60 days, the way the math is right now. They're working on making more efficiencies. So that brings us down a lot lower than most districts go. So, yeah, so if you weigh in on
Not to close the budget.
1 year or 2 year, I think that would be nice to see on your report. And if you, as you guys write out your notes, and if you think taking it out to a second year, if you could write down why you feel that, right? Like, what are the reasons why that might be important? Or if you say you should do it in 1 year, why are some of the reasons? So I think that'll help us get some because I think there are pros and cons to both, right? And so I think it would be great for the board to hear what you see as the pros and cons of 1 year versus 2 year, and which one you think your community you're representing would like to see. Any other big questions? Yes, Dr. Street.
So the reserve needs to remain at least 60 days, 2 months?
There are, there are no requirements in the state of Texas. We do get financial ratings. If you fall below 75 days, you lose points on your financial ratings, and if you fall below 60, you lose points on your financial days. And remember how school districts are funded. We don't, half of our money comes from property taxes, so we don't see any of that till January. And the state's on a different fiscal cycle as us. They don't start their fiscal year till September 1st. So we don't even get our first small payment from the state until September, October. So all those July, August, September, October bills are all paid. It's not really a savings account. It's like a cash flow account, right? Where you have to start paying teachers and pay for professional development in August. That comes from your savings. And then once you start getting your property taxes, you kind of pay the savings account back. That's kind of how a fund balance works. I don't want it. Some people confuse it with a checking or with a savings account where like, yeah, I really want to go out to dinner. I'll take $100 out of the savings account. Not exactly the purpose of a fund balance.
It's an old revolving credit account.
Correct, yes,
Where it's
yes.
kind of the balance.
Yeah, it's money's flowing in because we essentially get paid in arrears. We get paid after the fact. And you can, for last year, we didn't get our final paycheck till September, right? And we closed our fiscal year in June and then ended the school year in May, and we didn't get our final paycheck from the state until September. So,
The fund balance thing, in the end, please correct me if I'm wrong, because I probably am. It affects what our bond rating basically would be the next time we close.
correct, it is. There are a number of ways we are financially rated by Fitch and all these other, those guys are, they have full access to our financials, just like they're rating every other company out there and everything else. So, yes, they will be watching expenses, they'll be watching what we do, they'll be watching our fund balance, and that affects when we go out for certain things. Yeah. Yes, Ms.
How
Freeman.
does the accountability or the rating of the school district affect the bond rating?
Oh, I don't know that.
Complicated question.
Ms. Martinez, do you,
I don't
I'm
like
gonna
the
ask and see if maybe
bond,
she knows. On the ratings when we sell our bonds, have you ever heard, does the academic performance of the district ever play into like your Fitch ratings and your bond ratings and stuff like that? I don't know if you know. I don't know. What are our bond ratings? I know there's lots of different ratings.
Well, on the bond rating, it's kind of like you're getting a credit score.
Correct. So is any of that based on anything academically, or is that strictly based off financial data?
It would be financial.
Enrollment, things like that.
Okay.
Growth of the district.
Growth of all those types.
Students, things like that.
Okay.
Okay, so
Demographic information.
do we have a bond rating right now, a financial bond rating right now? A, double A, B,
It's
C?
AA2, I think. Let me double check.
That's okay. I just,
Correct. Yeah, all of our
We got the
ratings
same
across
rating
the
last
board
year,
are all extremely high right now, like double A's and triple A's and single A's, and
Yeah.
they're all really good. And there's a number of them. I get them all confused because they send us a lot of them, but they're all looking good really right now, which has allowed us. We just did refinance our bond last week. And saved the district, how much, 1.1, Amanda? I don't remember. How much did we save when we refinanced the bonds last week?
Oh, no.
Oh, over $1 million.
Like, yes,
Or
like,
lower interest?
up to 9 million.
Oh, up to 9 million, right? So it's just like refinancing a mortgage. We refinanced them last week and got a lower interest rate on our bonds. So now we're going to be able to save $9 million in interest on our bonds. That just happened last week. So
is that-
they go out to the market. So, all right, I'm going to close down questions. We'll be wandering around. If you have more, we'll try to get the answers if we can. Correct. So everybody, if you are a primary, you got a folder, or if you're an alternate that I already know is standing in for a primary, you got a folder. So you need to go find your person. So we've got high school. If you live in a single-member district, there's numbers 1 through 7, elementary, high school, middle school, and district staff people. So if you need to know where to go, we will help you. All right.
That's right.
I'll come over there. I'll come over there.
Oh, you're like floating, you can get there.
No, I'm voting with you.
Okay, sorry. Well, I know, but how large? For your friends.
Double A to it.
Okay, double A.
Where does Ed need to be? Can he just hang out?
Who's my alternate? Are you?
No, I'm not anything.
Let me go, let me see your folder.
Yeah, you're good. Good, I like your hat.
Well, thank you. So, all these don't do good, Nicole.
Neither do you, the people who care can do this.
Right, so.
We sure can. Okay, go better.
The tax rate.
Yes.
How's it going tonight, sir?
So, my question is, did you, the email?
I don't think I'm not sure if I can say.
You think I can fit that shirt, ma'am? Ma'am.
Was it today? Did she? And then I was like,
I know AP is my alternate.
The noon one was weird.
she had no, I didn't get this out.
This was
So my kids were so here we go. Yeah, the maker come over here. Sick.
Or make Amanda. Was it Amanda?
Is he insulting us and leaving?
He's insulting us, yes.
Where are you from? From middle school, right? It's four. Oh, that's right, you were four. I don't even know. Well, lady over there.
Well, that's why I'm
Monica,
she and
we
I,
got questions whenever you get back here.
I'm not even ready for
Or maybe Amanda.
trying to get over this.
No problem, I totally understand.
And you know, she's email.
How do I do it?
Here with us. We'll share. Yeah, we'll share.
Right, well, her share guy is.
But then you would generate money.
Martin Harris.
Yes, but oh my God. I thought you were from Texas. That's California. Just saying.
They have this white on the side over there, so.
Tanya, so what exactly are they wanting us to achieve tonight?
And they want us to look at these So, thank you, Steve. I appreciate it.
Kappa 2, both of these options. This is school closures, which is part of it. It's not either or. It's both. It's both. It's both.
Someone ends a pay document possibly or something ridiculous like that.
What? Okay, what summer school?
That's me, yes. But I've also worked at Johnson High School, Coronado, Hartman.
Whatever.
Yeah, so
Look at this.
I used to work in sped. Did that for.
Do we agree? Do we think something different? So like one of my questions that I'm looking at right
So my name is,
like for me, you have 111 maintenance staff serving a professional role. Okay, cool. That's at $550,000. But what does that mean? You have payroll staff serving as maintenance, but then that's professional level, non-instructional, cannot be classified in a, that doesn't make any sense to me. And why are we at 3.2 million? What is that?
Right.
And then.
Saying there's not enough detail in it.
Right. And then the other thing I was looking at is we have speech therapy and language pathology, but I see nothing on here for occupational therapy or physical therapy, which I know they come to the school.
Physical therapist is right here.
Oh, they are up here. Thank you, sweetie. My brain is fried. Nope, it's right there. So we have $1 million going out for their services.
So are you accountable? Because I'm all about accountability and I'm all about military.
There's no by so I set up that they're
I'm big on accountability and transparency.
The problem is I have to do this. The laptop. We're not.
found the trouble.
So that's why. I have a grandson.
Y'all brainstormed it all. Yeah, and then she said she hasn't been talking to her. Yes. But I haven't gotten the chance. No worries. So Jake. Don't look over
So we give us this number. We got base pay. This is the pay.
Yes. Yes. Lots of stuff.
Where is this coming from?
Oh, yeah. I will.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So we're part of the pay. Different portion.
Also,
That's the same.
in a way, my son is not in the government anymore.
Especially if
My camera's with me.
it's oh, I see. They get extra money. So you're like, what bank, what bowl is it?
So then what I'm hearing is former parent, what the district is actually paying them, or is it something that means
Let's have that lady over there that seems like Ms. Martinez.
this is a
You know, if you're making, you're gonna make it.
I tried, and this is very detailed. He didn't get in. He cried his eyes out. And I find that.
And then the other question for you. This number. I know the amounts that the district is paying. I just kind of need that figure. So that way we don't get all
Spend it right. Got it. Yeah. I know. Well, my kids. And he said, so the question the entire time is, to me, that's a problem. Say, for simply because he didn't have. Right. So you might as well match it. Yeah. His still take it. His how are we other students for this $1 million? Oh, yeah. You know, I feel like it should be a little more intensive.
No, you can use it how you make
It should work.
you know.
Nobody saying, was it put in? It didn't meet the criteria, your name got put in. Elementary no, this weekend, so bring the kids in, interview them. I mean, you know, even if it takes long, request that you start to get break in September and October for you. Yes, you have it. It's a right now. Why do you want to do it? You might get, no, because you don't know the price. Total artificial limbs for people who revenues paid, that's what I was thinking about. And he didn't get it. So he was angry. I mean, he had to walk out. That his name was involved. And then we're local or so many kids put into the box. But not title, not grant. So like the inequity there is just
Is Title I know, I can't relate because my daughter is going to be title, but that's not so bad. You know, we don't have to whatever they can get in. And if they're able to take
Title I school.
it, she got chosen for
They don't want to bust here in your.
so then
Your Title I enrollment goes down.
so then when I tried to do TIP, I was like, see, it's better than TIP. You know, TIP, it's like TIP. You're like part of this university, like you live, like, you know, so, but yeah, she was devastated because her brother was in and she was in so her things were fabulous.
So basically they want us to really look at this gap, but I think tonight
forget about the middle school. Elementary, I'm like,
Basically, it's like the 2 year
What's one of these will get good at?
to reduce the deficit by year 2. Kappa 2 is closing schools.
I feel like it's down.
we need to do this. They're all under local. We have to do this 1 year. It says business finance.
Put such a shock. A lot of that, I think, is covered hard for us. That's what I was trying to figure out. Like that.
To be honest, it will impact it. It's definitely will impact you guys.
Oh, I know. Because we opened it. That I think we need educational.
So wait, if we don't because that is for the schools we have
Yes. We've been watching this for over 20 years.
and so I don't know why anybody's shocked. I'm speaking very frankly. Yeah, I am part of it, but I'm not going. This is the second meeting right now. I've neglected my kid twice. Tomorrow I will not be broken body, but my thought is it's
Forget about that, that's better.
I don't think 140 should take a hit. The reality is the bulk of our control is in salaries. So it's either going to reduce salaries or you're going to. So when you guys got this before, you know what I mean? Some examples of staff have been shown to be in this role or coordinators, but none of this. And it's just staff serving enough. You know, I ended up getting one. I have no idea who that is.
And it shows how many students.
Because they ended up, and then
That one, that would probably be the higher.
Yeah, that's a whole separate.
Like a director or
you know,
Okay, Bolton and
I am not a reader. So heavily staff. The reality is, they're made. It's too small. It's too small. Exactly. And I tell them, oh, they need it. Okay, I understand that. However, not that we're up above. You know what I mean? You know, which is
Then you start there.
but the thing is,
Yeah, it's cabinet and then directors, executive directors, directors, and principals are all, we're all on the same.
right.
So unless they were separate directors, lower us. But right now, we are equivalent.
Say that again.
We are equivalent.
Right.
And so,
I'm all for one. Take that thing. Like, oh, anybody who's salary, you know, salary is like, it's public information. I make about $335 a day. Over the course of 1 year, it's not going to make. Take one from everyone. That would be a statement. Well, I don't want my benefits. I don't want my pay. I don't want my pay necessarily by my
Conversation is fun.
but see, I don't want that. I already have and that's all. It's nice to also get out my name. So like, for me, I want my benefits. I'd rather get well, I really
How many times do it?
and now I'm gonna have a 6 5 and
Well, this is other
I'm
than
not saving any. I might have better benefits or better service.
where are they?
Talking to them room and so she was better for that. However, it's a borderline with all, like I'll spend the day on the phone if I have to, just to get her to behind her. When it comes to that, I don't really know what. Oh, I'm not just saying the same way. Yes, and then we have this.
Where would athletic director?
He just basically says,
Because they have athletics and it says other than athletic director. But where do they fall out? Athletic director. Where are they?
they're on the back of the salary.
We're gonna use your brain.
Central administrator on the back.
Oh, I didn't even turn the page over.
Well,
That honor that really shut down. Like, we're gonna do the week.
We only get two athletic directors.
Oh, that's right here.
So, shut us off.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, so then like Treva and the person.
right.
So,
But the coach, that's 5 days.
what is this athletic?
The word is that.
I would think that's the coach's 9 looks right for that because that was a lot better.
I wish I knew. This is actually,
And I just think
We gotta pull that one on there just says athletics and other things. So he basically copied and put it on here. This is exactly what it is.
And also,
So there's no definition.
we talk all the time.
But 9 doesn't sound right because we have football, soccer.
that here's no way.
6 days. 6 is only even 5 days. Rather than lose.
That's the way I see that. This one right here.
So everybody.
Do they count as teachers? They count as teachers.
I said,
They just don't have a full load.
But there's some coaches that, we have coaches that
Anymore.
Not a
We used to have coaches that didn't teach.
Yeah, I remember there was like the.
We gave them classes. We lost a lot of coaches when we gave them classes.
So that would be, so he should have classified 7 and split it out and say how many were FTE and how many were OTs. Because the coaches fall under teaching.
And that's where you end.
That's why it's
Well, different because haven't looked at it in years, but the coaches teach them what might be 2 classes.
There's me on
I can say it, the middle school that I am at, we have some coaches who are,
they recommend.
we have some coaches.
and I think go for it.
But that would be such a shocker.
And they did 15 this year. 15. They said, right. It is bigger, but even so, but even.
They don't at the high school.
Well, yeah, I know, well, when my kids were at Judson, they had athletics, was a coach, but then she also had, whatever.
Whereas I'm looking at other things,
Three classes.
When they make sure.
they're working very, very
And they're gonna have to stick to it.
Why do they have a
Does she have, was she like a coach for Hutchinson Middle, or was
She
she?
was a soccer coach. Moki.
I went to the coaches before my daughter, she was in the kitty hospital.
Everybody has, whether it's like
Biology, honestly, you look,
taking care of where you're taking care of other people.
We have to teach coaches to, yeah.
Nobody exactly. So everybody has to.
I feel like the health center, she's required.
You know, and forever I tell my husband to be an ambassador, but if I think it's very important, maybe help because he can't get. So, you know, and she, that's a real need. That's a real however, I think.
Which also means she would get
That sounds great. She gets the coaching stipend, but they lowered the stipend.
But what I'm saying is she wanted to just say exactly.
Oh, they raised
She didn't want to do it if they didn't have her do
You know what I mean? Like, it's just, this was their
kept on saying, because Esther came to my office.
And I
And
think
they
they
kept
were
on saying
very
that, we
clear.
bring the information, and they're just like, oh. For example, when we received all that, Esther, it was under the digital administration. However, some that are on the digital now were on the digital.
Well, the bottom line is that money was for soccer, but these were done.
Oh my gosh, we purchased some brand new things, brought on.
That's what I'm saying. That's the observation I'm making.
Which middle school is that?
I feel like
Okay,
that
that's my grandson.
okay. Also, great. I think
Six.
part of why we are because of the positions that are brought all the different
Here.
Not enough to make all of
Who's
those.
in the band?
correct. That's what it's correct.
We tried,
But because
Secretary right now.
I don't have enough, I don't have enough grants to do it. So,
and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to kind of see.
Okay.
Because I will be honest that my husband's at the CIS proposal, and I see what the market is out of those, what he works with in comparison to the middle. I'm like, my husband's over here working his butt off with only a few coaches, just a little staff on both boys and girls.
Because they combined it.
And I'm like, that's
Yeah, the girls coaches over there, they're paid.
Oh, how's this group doing? Sorry, I got attacked by last
But I know that
Exactly, and I think
what are the campuses?
and I think
That support that level.
like a lot of them.
oh, I love it.
Should it be on the priority?
They don't, but then it's like,
academic teachers
are 15.
she's there to relay information.
That's 500. Like, I'm thinking, okay, this is teachers. Now I'm being realized that it's a
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. We need to kind of need that
Knowledge and I love her to death. But I
Yeah.
said 5, so they said 300 to 500, give or take.
and I hate to say it.
Prioritize them.
Correct.
And then, or pool them, and then prioritize to where we really need the heavy work.
Exactly.
But we don't need the big, large pool of them.
No. I don't. And
I mean, I didn't read it that way. Just trying to get down to a certain
and they're certified. You know?
Yeah.
We're talking about academic trainer. Oh, that's why I moved. That's why I just left that table.
She said,
No.
she said,
The problem
500
with
personnel reduction
Yeah.
needed. I wrote down what she
Well,
said.
I said a lot of our academics
I know it.
So I feel like academic deeper, I can tell me like what you want and you just why I need to know that. And it wasn't beneficial.
The district is very split on how people feel about it. Like, they either love them or hate them. It's probably a little bit split, and it's implementation along with personality and having the right
Yeah, and I love it.
Yeah, a little forward.
I think I am all, okay, but I told her though, we were talking about it, she goes, yeah, I know that some people are gonna have to go back in class. Okay. Or they're gonna
Get money from
amongst campuses, or they're only gonna need them, you know, at the lower. She's fully aware that it's something because nobody will make the hard decision.
But you
And I really think that we need to change up the job description and.
yeah, well, that's the whole thing that I said earlier.
That's what I think.
That's why I said earlier. We have a whole.
We don't even use that building. We don't even need that.
Where we truly need them.
What other thing? Why can't that?
And why can't some of them be itinerant? Like, again, I'm not, 3D20 uses like instructional coach.
Which one?
Right?
Wherever
You're a
Jason,
math instructional coach.
whatever.
Right? And when you become itinerant, you go to multiple campuses, implementing, or if you kind of go to curriculum implementers too, what you can do is you can make sure that third grade blue bonnet, especially you look at students, have a notice blue bonnet, all of a sudden you start getting consistency across the district.
That should have been a primary.
Like middle school science, like, do I need an English certified academic trainer walking into my science class and telling me how to teach science?
Which one are you in?
What are you going to tell me about? You don't even know what my teeth are, right? Versus a science.
To that report, this is where we're overstaffed on that.
So look, this says you're overstaffed 34
As far as like, I teach for sure.
Yes.
Right? Okay, you know, that's the bulk of work, you learn how to read.
Yeah.
Do not do my some people who know how to correct when.
Yeah.
See, and here's that athletics other than director
Or
again.
experience with family.
4 points. I really think they should.
Because what I'm gonna do in my room, a whole
This
lot.
says you're
different than what they're gonna
overstaffed
do. So we don't
counselors.
know what to look for, and you
3.1,
have to know
I can
what
tell you, if you talk to a
my
counselor.
room's good.
Well, and it'd be worse when we moved from coaches to trainers.
What is other LEA
Then Amazon was getting a match. So when they walked in a room, at least they have the resume to be able to walk into the room. Now we have academic trainers who work as tutors on a 197.
Look at
Yours was a coach?
Well, she was a teacher. Miss Hyman was a teacher in her campus.
Yes.
She's done it all. So
Yes.
she's amazing.
Yes.
And so
Just some of them see it as just another teacher walking into the
I know.
classroom.
Oh, I know.
But that person, there's too much personality stuff.
That's different than
it's my
driving a lot.
Oh, no. Or whatever.
Oh, no, that's what I'm saying, is personality-wise, you love her. But on other campuses, her personality.
Oh, and see, but I wouldn't, even if I didn't
non-strong.
love her, it would not be because I didn't care for her. I think the position in itself, most people say, like, you don't need her to come in and support us in the way that you would think the trainer is there.
But they're not out knocking on doors.
Teachers at your campus, you guys call and you guys organize results.
She's leaving us alone.
Yeah.
For the most part. She's not having the conversation.
And again, so if this so here's the thing, they're saying we're overstaffed on the briefing. They're saying that that's covered by federal.
Exactly.
So why is it, why do they even want
And we have one of those
be a part of our?
here, and she's been in a classroom as a para for like 5. So she knows how a classroom works. And she, you know what I mean? Like, she was a para in a pre-K room, and now she's teaching kindergarten. So she knows.
So look,
Expect.
And I wish we just would have traveled to some other districts to see how things are always changing, right? There's different paths.
That means what, we need 20?
They would have traveled to, let's go find all those B-rated districts with tough kids, right? And see what, go down to Brownsville, right? Which is a B-rated, go down to Harlingen, go to Lubbock.
Why are we not? We got tough kids. And
Like do that part first before you even look at this.
it's not like we don't.
Yeah.
And I think it's just, here's, I can compare it a little bit. I'm not gonna get names. Well, I can talk about the weakness and the surveys and this. I'm like, oh, here's the story.
Where's the child nutrition?
90%.
And this child,
And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's not acceptable. Why would you really want your kids to grow that much? You're setting
Some adults who think labels limit kids.
And so I had 100% growth last year. Every single one of my kids grew. Like, not necessarily to great level per se, but most of them grew eater.
Yeah.
You know, it's,
No, and you go to, again, Brownsville, rated 87, 90+% ego dis. You go to Harlingen, 88, 90+%. So these people have models that work. People
right. I
steal
also
them.
think too, a lot of the times is where you set the bar. Like, if you, what is the expectation? Like, and I always tell my kids, oh no, we don't say I can't do that. If I can't do it, not yet.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, and we're gonna get there.
Yeah.
You know, and
set the bar
never,
up
I
there.
set the bar high. Well, admin sets the bar high. I've never been in a class where my school has set, you know, I've never, even when I was in SSD, our goal had to be, I mean, we're not 90, but we had like 80. We wanted to set 80.
Yeah, and if it gets got a challenge, be like, all right, well, how are we gonna get through that?
Exactly, you know?
Keep on moving.
And so, I guess my big thing is, kind of back to this,
All right, I'm gonna go check on another
How do you
group.
want this information?
I write it on a carrier. I don't. You want to type it up tomorrow at work? You want to write it? I don't even care. It'd be nice to like step 2, or so I can figure out where it went to.
Oh, okay. I think these need to be, which is kind of almost what it says, I think, in some parts. That it
One's
would,
just the school one.
yeah, that, well, it is, but then
Oh.
it says, like, or inclusion in capital 1, like, taking, like, the staff reassignment reduction.
Oh yeah.
Like, taking, I think that's gonna be, I think that's probably.
Correct. Yeah, I'm not worried. Like again, whatever schools end up closing, we lose 20% of our teachers every year. 300 people.
Here's the
They
other
all everybody have a job.
Stop spending so much money on YouTube. bolted at the campus level.
Also, right, that shit down.
I'm saying like the,
That probably got picked up on the audio.
well, that's what I think.
All right, I'm gonna get.
I think that the teacher package, teachers should go to that.
It's part of, this year is part of their salary reflex. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't have Title II money for it.
Okay, well, see, when I came in, I got paid. Normally,
Federal closed, and so I went and I said I can't pay for this year. They haven't released the funds, I don't know when.
right, but I think that that is you're opening up a school for all these teachers and having, and most of what it is that you're doing is teach us review that we get at the campus level. It was, here's your payroll stuff. Oh, yeah. Set up a day for them to come to HR to fill that out, to choose their benefits and all of those things. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's definitely a more economical way that can happen versus a new teacher academy for 150 teachers. You know, and there's nothing, don't hire for 150 teachers. Wait and see what you're gonna really need. And I know that sounds bad because nobody wants to start the school year off not having teachers. Staff as best as possible with what we have in the district. And even if those class sizes, okay, you're sitting at 28 students for a week or two, okay, then we need to, level them out and bring in a teacher. You'll be able to find some. Trust me, you'll be able to hire somebody. It's always, or someone who's gonna need a new campus at, campus B over here. Their classes are only, 12 apiece, and we need to consolidate. So we need to, like, moving those people around. I think that we need the hiring resources. Hiring staff, unless for specific reasons. I don't have any water, so I feel like I'm like, I feel like, having, I think that those are things that need to be looked at too.
What about like having like when you hire new teachers, when you get like a where they don't have the academy, they come to the classroom, more like a student teacher versus.
Yeah, but the academy is anything that teachers you how to teach. It's all about how things work together. It's literally just, if you need to take a picture, go take your picture, get your
That can happen on onboarding.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like, yes, don't get me wrong, it's great.
No,
There's a lot that's great about
There's a lot of time that goes into setting that up.
Exactly.
The administrative cost that comes from this building forward.
I feel like that's a big place where things could be saved. I feel like that's a huge savings that could be done.
Like we guys.
If you're a new teacher, this is where you're gonna go. You're gonna go in that room and we're gonna talk to you about TCAS and how Jessica does it. And that's where the new teachers set up for. They can set up for that. Exactly. I don't have that. I don't think that it's necessarily, let's not spend that. Like, I mean, we were at veteran, me and my stepdaughter on board in the same year. She was a brand new teacher and I was transferring over from SAISD to here. And we were there at the same time. And again, there's been a waste of money on the speaker. Why? Not that we're doing that now, but like,
We still do.
I don't.
But we don't even know if federal's going to release the funds for Title II to be able to pay for speakers.
And so that's why I'm saying, I think that that's definitely, like, look at that new teacher. Is that something that we really have, or can that look a little different? Can that be done during the PDD? Yeah, and I hear from the teachers want communication. Nobody likes it. And I know that it's gotten cheaper because they're not looking in a big position. You go to the talent field, nobody wants to do there. Nobody wants to be there and set up their classrooms. Like, that's where we want to be. I'm literally thinking, okay, when is this going to be over? Because I have got to be ready for a teacher that's going to have tonight. When, like, those are other things that you don't spend money on. I get it, you want to have a conversation. Maybe a little bit. Give us time to give the gift of time. That's what teachers want. Give us the gift of time. And let us get mini conversations at our own campuses. And you can share it. And send out the media, the publications, have them post theirs on different days at different times if you want to. And, we can still do the spirit stick. It can be done at a campus. How happy would people be to have a
Or just do
30-minute
it on a
thing?
computer, like a computer-based.
that when you're during COVID.
Yeah,
That way-
I don't wanna do that either though. I would rather have, I would have at my own campus. I'm there, I'm at the campus, we can do this for half an hour, and then I get the rest of the day. You know, that's what people want. You know, like, in my opinion, yeah.
You know what, I don't understand is that, so I'm from Hawaii, when we have graduation, we have graduations on our
There's a high chance that's gonna happen this year.
Yeah, because it doesn't make sense that you all spend money at the Alamo Dome.
Well, the problem is
all this
so
other stuff, when you have.
That's our problem too, is that we don't have it indoor.
Have big football field.
But it's hot though, like it's
But it's not all day, it's just at night. I mean,
We could have a
suck it up.
I guess if you broke it up and you had two different graduations or, you know, different, I know that college is a little different, but I know that we have like a college of education graduation for an hour because it's less graduates. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you save money though.
Yeah.
With the Alamo Dome and all that, that's like a year out, you have to learn all that.
No, I get that, but I'm saying like to have a morning and an afternoon graduation. I mean, I say that you could split it maybe by, you know, cohorts of, you know, I don't know, like all the class people or something.
They're gonna wanna be,
They want to be what
they're going to want to be a rock, they're going to want to be a patriot. That is instilled in the mindset of high school so intensely. We have problems with kids who are failing, and not going to graduate on time, but will not enroll over at JLA with my fast track them to earn that diploma because they'll be a penguin and not a rocket or a teacher or a penguin. We're like, you are a dropout. Fifth year, you're not a teeter, you're not a rocket, you are a dropout. You need to go be a penguin and grow up and get on as an adult. And they will, nope, I'm gonna go to evening school. And I'm like, oh my God. It's that mindset. I am one of those three masks, you know.
Yeah.
Oh my God. No, you're a dropout.
If
You're
that's
fine.
what you want, I'm gonna need you to come to school.
Yeah,
Do your
you
work.
have been a hall walker for 3-4 years.
Right.
You're not, no.
But I mean, again, I personally think closing is, it's gonna happen.
I think you need to at least
I think it's I'm okay with that. I just feel like I would rather it all. I don't want, I
think five.
I think five. I think more. Only, I don't know what number because I don't know what growth is. What the numbers look like. What are the ages of the people? I mean, if you look at it, our campus, we just celebrated our 50th anniversary.
Yeah.
You know, but we're one of the only ones. However, they just did a whole bunch of stuff.
At the last birthday party, they did afterwards send out the information from the demographer as well as from the company that basically took a survey of our buildings. How much will it cost to get them up to code? How much is it going to cost as far as, do they need to have their HVAC systems replaced? All of that stuff, what happened with Coronado. We have some campuses that are in mid-process right now. So they have that all in a report. It is online on our district website, on the growth planning site. But I have those reports and look at how much is it going to cost to get this campus
And I just feel like, I know they're having a little honey. Oh, that's why I don't make the decision based on transmission.
Yes.
Drop it and give it to her. What's the benefit it's you're not going to be able to go to any teacher at Edwards. You're not going to be able to go to any teacher at Desert School or a community member that has their kid there. No, any of them. You're not going to be able to go to any of them and tell them their school's going to have to close and they're going to be
campuses underfunded. We need to look at those things.
Yes, and I just think, here's the other reason I say that is, let's do it once, pull that Band-Aid off, rezone everybody, and the healing will happen within the years. People readjust, kids will
We've already adjusted with the adjustments that we made.
let me just tell you this, if we can go from 1 week during COVID, this is what people, I think, feel like people forgot. 1 week during COVID, you went from every school was open and you had a normal life to, hey, guess what, your kids gonna go online now. Teachers had to adjust, families had to adjust, parents had to adjust, kids had to adjust. It all happened in a week of time. In a week of time. But it got done. If we say, okay, we're gonna have to have 5, 1 middle, as we can't get through, it's not like we have a ton. And maybe
The transportation would be horrible.
exactly. And not, maybe not, I can't closing 5, but maybe elementaries that are under 5 and with age in consideration as well. I'm sorry, my village and apartment are see one school from the other.
Without the housing development, we used to be able to see.
Right.
Yeah. First up in that apartment, and that was a field.
Yep.
We could see each other.
Yes. So, you know, I just think that you do it all now. Maybe not the staffing, maybe not reducing the staff as much, cutting everything will be some. Yeah, we'll have to, but like the 2 year on the staff, like, you know, do the 2 years, so that, because that will hurt a lot. That will hurt a lot. But this is going to hurt you, but.
They need to make a decision on that now.
Now.
Because in January, when we come back, we start building elections, programs, and this allotments.
We can't do it at the 11th hour. I'm sorry, so here's the decision should have already been made. It shouldn't have come at the end of last year the way it was, and then everybody was freaking out, you know. But I say now that we because then what? You're going to draw all the homes, not just 1 year, but 2 years. When you think, oh man, we should have closed another school.
Well, I'm looking at Judson Middle. Do I have to, because of their rankings, do they need to become a Title I campus? Or if they're going to be closed, then we don't have to do the work to become a Title I campus for next year. Because of where their ecodisc is with relationship to Wood Lake and Metzger. So I'm watching, I'm waiting. I'm like, are we doing it or not?
Because that'll be a savings that's always there. And guess what? If the district goes to Westford and we have more than we go back and build a school. Where the growth is. Let's be honest. Where I am at, now that they've closed Corner, where I am at, in my 7-mile little circle, there's like 6 elements. You know, it's not needed. It's just not. It used to be 100%. And yes, my neighborhood is so bad because I'm 100% my neighborhood. You know, the grandmas and grandpas that are walking up and down the street with their daughters. You know, my kids were the young ones, and he's in middle school. There's not a ton of in my neighborhood. You know, there are some all the time. Now, Capano has teachers. It's you know, obviously from the newer neighborhoods. I just think I feel like do it all now. And I'm not saying like a red like this crazy number, but maybe one more. I think one more elementary. So just 1 and 2. I'm probably going to win that battle. I think this is the number they're set on. That it's going to be 3. My thing is it's going to be more money down the line when you have to redraw the lines again, and you have to reroute the buses again. And so I feel like it would be smarter to do it now. You would increase that savings by this much again. Yes. So you would get another $1 million out of it. So instead of it being 4.7 to 6.13, it would be 5.71 to 7.1. That looks pretty big chunk of change. And then honestly, show attrition. I don't know.
We're not, because we do lose a lot of us elementary. No more DOIs.
Right.
That's the law.
Done.
So this is their last year.
And if they're not certified,
They're gone. No more of these.
yeah. And I think that
After next year, middle school for poor contact, done.
and I think that they should all go in the job. I think that should be a decision.
This should have happened a long time ago.
Right, I think everyone, I know, oh, this year we're crazy. No, it's all. There's one teacher on campus, my stepdaughter teacher with, she's a DY and she's been one for 5 years. That's ridiculous. She's not certified in 5 years.
And we are also in Region 20, and we work with to help them.
And she is already on the waiver and has to get permission to take it at country girls. She's got the 5 times. Why do you want her? I wouldn't want her. She might be wonderful, but I'm sorry, I want a certified kid teacher in my classroom. I had an issue that my child's a pre-K teacher because he went to parochial school because I didn't qualify for pre-K, so he went to parochial school. And she wasn't certified. Now, she'd been teaching pre-K there for a bazillion years, and I ended up loving her, but I really wanted him to have a certified teacher, you know, and that is important to me as a parent and as a teacher myself, because I can help my girl. I got student loans to show it.
You got the scars.
You know, so I feel like it's unfair to those of us that have put through the did the test. You know?
Through multiple states, for some of us, yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, I mean, but I feel
Totally moved because of that.
yeah, I do think that the staffing, if it, does it naturally through nutrition, to fix itself over the year, then I think that needs to be
Consider maybe at least one day, maybe the 226 is bring us down 5
just under day.
So it's a week.
But I don't think that they should take I feel like that's for anybody. Because I think naturally closing would seem nothing's running, nobody's communicating. You know what I mean? Like it's just everything is there, you know? And that would seem really natural. It's like a fashion store. But again, I'm nobody.
Still, would you please send the information to Ryan?
Oh yeah, for sure. Can I'm probably the only one who thinks
I'm all for it, but it's a lot.
well, that's based, I think I don't think because it should be based on their reading at all. I think
The students are going to do well regardless of where they are.
exactly.
The teachers who are teaching well are going to teach well regardless of where their location. So if they get this place, they're still going to be excellent teachers.
Well, and I also think that we need to saying goodbye to teachers that are on the plan that have had teachers training in developing or whatever for multiple years in a row. I think those are things, that's what they did in this SD. They literally and we're like, okay, yeah, Andrew, we've been developing for a couple of years. All right, we're gonna have a conversation, and you can either choose to resign and keep everything intact, or we're gonna fire you because we're having a production report. You can resign with my recommendation, or we can fire you. And we shouldn't.
Want to have a third party come in and do the dirty work, and then you all be crying because
There's more money being
what I
spent.
said was going to happen, but y'all didn't want to listen. So,
But here's the bottom line.
big job.
But here's the thing is if we don't make these decisions, if they don't start putting on the and deciding to make decisions, TA is going to come in and make it for us, and they're going to be and they're going to be suing relationships. They're going to sue central offices with the board, with the cabinet. They're going to do that.
Yes.
And we don't want, I don't
Listen,
see that
watch,
being
it's
done.
happening all around.
Maybe you don't want that. I'm sorry. So,
I know, but what I'm saying is that's why they need to make look at.
Everybody look at 10 minutes warning.
Yeah. So what do we say? Postman elementary. I do agree with the teacher plan on
yes.
staffing.
Too much of a shock. Programs are going to be stuff.
However, I think as far as because the let's just be honest, the bulk of women's teachers, I think that will naturally that we won't necessarily because I do think that there are some where the classroom size is super small, but they have to have a classroom.
That aren't related to like SPED. Okay, SPED resource, we're going to have small numbers. For units, we're going to have small numbers.
But that should
That's okay. We're not going to touch that.
Right.
We have general ed classes because of for whatever the reason they are small. That's got to stop. It's happening a lot at the high schools and at our middle schools. That's got to stop.
Now, I know at our campus, none of us are super small as far as elementary. I mean, I've been floated a little this year, even that, because I got a new kid and then lost a kid. But I've been sitting at about 18. My cohorts are sitting at 19. Obviously, those are great numbers. We couldn't consolidate a class with those numbers. It would be too big, you know. But I think that that's a nice place to be. But I feel like people with 15, 14 kids, like, you can take 5 more. You know, you can take 10 more.
yeah, 10 days last week.
elementary is 23 or at 23.
We're at 23 with the waiver.
We have to do a waiver.
Right. But I do think that that's something they really like to do. When I talk to them, they're like, oh no, right? There are no campus books that are sitting here. But then when you tell them, they're like, oh yeah, we have this weekend.
Yeah, we do.
You know, so like, transparency. Like, that's what I really want to say. Like, I'm really sorry that I'm going to get it from like, there's like a, and I'm not, and I don't mean to avoid this, I'm not saying, I mean, every like, bring the plan they can vote on, it's going to make changes, because it has to.
And if they're not gonna make it,
Who's going to come in and make it for them. And then they're not going to have a choice anymore. And then we're going to see a lot of things change in our classrooms.
Last spring, we were building this year's budget. Cabinet, departments brought, hey there,
Just coming to visit.
and it's to a $13 to $15 million potential cuts. And they went with only one.
Yeah,
And that was the elementary principals and their secretaries and teams. They decreased it by 10%. And that was it. Out of $13 million.
Right.
Some of them were crappy, and they said, we don't recommend them, but it's, some of them,
So what else did we say? I said close it, but that's just so that all the rezoning can be done in one shot.
I would put one
Our
middle,
group also said that.
three, I would put one middle and
Another elementary.
Our team also
Well,
said
because
close
I
the third
think,
element.
I think just do it now, because if you're like, oh,
Yeah.
but why? You're gonna spend more money later to rezone, because you're gonna get a demographer, and they're gonna tell you where to draw the lines, and that's another waste of money.
And we talked about the other
Teacher academy.
if you have, like, Ed Fran's leadership, oh God, I'm over here. I just said I was gonna come listen. But we said, if you're worried about preserving something, just like we do with Q-Tex, where we have a school within a school, you could put Ed Fran's leadership in a school.
you could do the leadership program.
As a leadership, not the whole school, but this wing is Ed Fran's leadership. Because they take all their, it's kind of like when Coronado went to Selma.
Selma,
They took all their people.
Rolling Meadows and Selma.
Well, the problem is, well, there isn't one single campus that can house all 330. There's 330, it's not that small, where it's only like a couple
The
hundred.
Boysville kids can go, there's about 20 to 30 kids. They're housed out on 16
Right. Single Copperfield.
Yes, Converse. There's elementaries over there. The reason why they're at Francis is Francis is small and we're very okay, the number of units that we have just moved into there with new furniture was too high to have during enrollment.
So then the enrollment isn't really there. It's because they were moved.
Yes,
It's kind of like the immersion program when Coronado was still.
yes.
And I understand if you want more to something that's been a staple in a community for a long time. I get it. I understand completely. Things change. And I hate to say this, things die off. People die off. You know, like I'm gonna use a simple analogy very quickly, just because I think it seems relevant to me anyway. I recently, my grandmother, not recently, last week, I had a hard time letting go over things. So all her boxes are just in my garage, right? Cardboard boxes. Well, I had to come to my garage to stop me. And things that are 70 years old mean nothing to me, but meant something to her because it was her. I was super upset about it, right? And when it comes down to it, it was something that mattered to her, not to me.
No value.
No value to it. So I get the yes, the teachers might be upset because what I'm doing with this person. I understand. I fully understand that. It would be heartbreaking. Maybe that could be okay, we're going to take this team and we're going to move you guys to this. So they'll move them. We're going to take this team and we're going to move, or this is the option. You know what I mean? I feel like those would be things to make it a little easier. Don't force them. Oh, you're going here and you're what? Give them a little bit of opportunity to like they have control over what's happening
Yeah,
to
because
them.
my son was at Coronado, right before he went to Salinas, but they had like the teacher and the classroom all together, so when Salinas had opened,
Yeah.
the transition was just easier for the students.
And see, if they can make decisions sooner, then there's time to plan
You know,
and be
it's kind of like a
deliberate.
divorce. When somebody brings you divorce papers, yeah, it's like a mamacita when you get those papers in your hands, right? And then over time, it hurts a little bit less, and you start to adjust. You know, it's dying now. I get called and I had a stroke. She spoke again. She died 3 weeks later. It's an adjustment. You know, you gotta look at things and it's okay. Changes are okay. Sometimes changes are really good. But you know, and I think that everything is so angry and up in arms and oh, I don't want to spend my home and I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that. You have to. You know, when you can live on a champagne budget with not champagne money.
But you also need a change agent though, in order for all these changes to happen. I feel like companies lack that. They don't have a change agent to transition from another teacher, you're a teacher here, now you're a teacher here.
I think, but I
All right, it is 7:15, and I'm pretty sure this group would go all night if I let you.
You should.
But then people get angry and mad and it gets frustrating.
But you know what?
Mr. Willis wants to come back and do an all-day Saturday.
So that next year, they're ready.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I.
All right, can I get everybody back?
I would actually put one middle school.
Yes, go ahead, Ms. Adair.
Very specific, right?
Region 20.
Right.
TA website. Go to TA Keams reports, and there's a list of like 30 different reports you can get.
I said cut.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, hold on, I'm trying to get everybody back. I always got those high schoolers in the back.
At Alamo Dome and all the other.
Hey, Mr. Willis.
Yes. Other stuff, yes.
Look at it, my camera.
All right, we're gonna start, you guys.
I'm paying for the facility.
All right, team, so
I think that's it.
I literally can't, I'm like the worst middle school teacher ever.
I think stipends are.
1, 2, 3, eyes on me, somebody help me out. Everybody catch a bubble.
There we go.
Thank you. No, and I love
Y'all
that.
elementary people.
I love that I can't stop the conversations. Let's be real. I love that I can't stop it. I love how passionate this entire room is and all the amazing conversations that are going on. I love bopping from table to table. So, but, so one, if you are one of the folder holding team leaders, section leaders, whatever, one of the 11, whatever you did get captured, you need to somehow get it to me. Whether you choose to hand me a piece of paper, take a picture, or take it with you and type it up and email it to me, that'd be awesome too, right?
Okay.
So that we at least capture, please make sure you label who you are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, elementary, middle, high school district, so I know who the input came from, because I don't want to lose all the work that you guys did tonight and lose all those great conversations. But I guess I'll throw it out to the group is, what's the way ahead? Because I'm pretty sure y'all didn't actually get anything done. Like, I don't mean it that way, but like, you got a little bit done, but like, these conversations just started. And I know you didn't have all the data and all the documents before tonight. So, is the group wanting another meeting?
Of course. You have to.
I know. I know. I know. So, and again, and I can be available, again, we're just here to facilitate. You see, we're opening the room and letting y'all just get after it. Okay, babe. So, oh, I lost the group again. 1, 2, 3. Is that me? What? No. Okay, so when does the group want to meet again? You guys want to meet again before Christmas, like next Wednesday? You don't, not everybody has to, I understand people got Christmas and choir concerts and orchestra and all sorts of stuff, but is there at least a group that wants to come back and have this room open for further discussion?
Yeah, you can email.
I'm going to send it to you.
Next Wednesday. Okay, yeah, if you cannot make it, this is a lot of meetings, and when you signed up to be on this committee, or you're just one of the people who show up at this committee, this is a lot. So if you can't make as frequent of committees as some of these people want. I don't feel bad about that, right? Like, this is going very fast and furious, but we want to create the opportunity for those who do have the time and do want to come in and want to make it available. Do we want to do the same thing we did tonight where the survey committee wants to come back at, or the, not survey committee, the small group of survey people come back at 5, and then the non-survey, no? You're
I'm
right.
not here. I actually am volunteering at Morgan's Wonderland that day. I just looked at my calendar.
Okay.
So I can see what we have when I get the emails, and I can send it out to you. And then if there wants to be a discussion around that, then someone can just send me a
Okay, all right, so in terms of way forward on the survey,
Confusion over here, so what is that? We didn't know about it.
correct, it was on the, everybody got, if you're on the committee, you got a calendar invite that should have had all the instructions that there was a group that had wanted after the last meeting to think about putting a survey together. So anybody who want to come help with that discussion, we let them have the room, and they were discussing that at 5. So for that, Ms. Easterly, is it okay if I send your email address out to the entire group? Or no?
Yes,
Or,
that's fine.
okay, all right, want to ask before I send that out. So I will send out Ms. Easterling's email address, so any of you who had survey questions and input and were part of that meeting, please feel free to email that to her. She's going to start putting stuff together, and then if you want to give me some feedback on what you think the way ahead needs to be to get wherever y'all want to go, whether that's a Teams meeting, maybe online, because we have a lot of people who have Teams access, and I do too, I'm just not good at it. But so we'll talk about that way ahead on that. And then for the rest, so if we don't need an in-person meeting, would starting at 5:30 next Wednesday work? For those who want to come next Wednesday, 5:30? So we can give y'all enough time? Okay, so I'll send out a calendar invite, those who are willing to come back and continue to work on these documents. I will email out the CAPAs. All the rest of the documents I think you already have. The only ones you don't have yet are these blue documents, because I just got them, so I will send those to you so that everybody has all of the documents you've been looking at tonight. And then you can start writing down your notes and digest these, and then bring your notes back, those who can make it at 5:30 next week. And if you're not able to make it next week, if you want to email me your input, you're welcome to do that too, and say, hey, can you please share this with the group? So, any final questions before I release you back to your tables, which I think you've already released yourselves back to? All right, hearing no questions, we're going to adjourn at 7:23, and I'll let y'all hang out and continue to talk to each other until I kick you out. Thank you.
This consolidation plan, what is your thing about that?
Or do you like to?
One middle school